Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ready Steady Play. We're still here engaged in Hogwarts Battle, fighting for our lives. It's tenterhooks. It's on the edge. It could go either way. I have to believe. We need to believe it could go either way.
So what do you think I believe it's going to be?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not as pessimistic as you are.
Like optimistic side.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to be the optimist.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go into battle.
Mm-hmm.
3 of those. It's gonna hurt.
Sorry, okay, Manon Forget. He's not that bad.
All heroes. Oh well, not that bad. I'm stunned.
Oh, damn.
So.
Oh, there's one.
Okay. Oh no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All heroes lose 1 heart for each card in the hand with a value of 3.
I might have that.
I have 1, so I've lost 1.
I have 1. I have 2.
You 2. So you're
So I'm
stunned.
stunned anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm okay.
You have to discard half your hand.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Oh goodness. All heroes
Fiend
lose
fire.
3.
Yep, I am now also stunned. Jeez. Louise.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Might as well discard the detention because I can't lose any more hit
Oh
points.
crumbs! I've just died as well.
Active hero. Did you just get stunned as well?
Yeah.
Oh, we lost.
So
Didn't
we've
we?
lost.
Well, not quite,
Active
but
hero loses.
unless
So I'm
Lian
stunned.
can
I'm
get
stunned.
yeah, unless you can get rid of one of those this round, we've lost.
Okay, so I've stunned, so I got down to half of my cards.
Mm-hmm.
God, which one
So you get it's rounded, half rounded down, so you lose 2 cards
okay.
of 5.
Okay. Well, I can get rid of this one because I'm really stunned.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
You could get rid of the chocolate frogs as well because
Yeah.
they give you the bonus anyway.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
get 1 influence.
Mhm.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Okay. So now,
Not really.
so I've got 3 cards that are left. So I have these 3. So, all heroes choose 1.
Yeah.
Well, we can't get any hearts.
Well, we can get heart.
I can
well,
get
not
heart.
really.
Wait.
No, we're all stunned.
No, I'm
It
alright.
doesn't-
I've got. Look, each
No,
one.
we're all stunned. It makes no difference.
Oh. Even if I'm stunned. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no difference.
Well, then I can roll the dice. It's not going to help, to be honest. But
Yeah, I think roll the dice first.
okay.
You get a fight.
Okay.
You get 1 fight token.
Yeah. So that's done.
All right.
And then I've got gain one of these. You may put spells you acquired to your deck. So it's not that. That's not
Yeah.
that I can do.
No, I think that's
That's
the
it.
end. I think that's the end. The shortest round ever. Okay, we'll be. Wow.
I know we're feeling kind of stunned. No, are you stunned? Are you stunned into silence?
Yeah. Wow. That ended. That did end a lot quicker than I thought it would.
Just.
So we've lost the Great Hall, and that's the final location. So we've lost the game. That's we've all been sort of stunned into submission while the evil wizards have taken over Hogwarts, and now they control Hogwarts. And I guess that's how the wizards lose.
That's how we
It
lose.
doesn't actually happen
That's how
in
we
Harry
lose.
Potter. They never lose.
No,
Yeah,
they don't lose.
but I suppose it wouldn't be much of a game if you couldn't lose.
Yeah.
So this was box 1 of the expansion. And the expansion does instruct you to include all of the sort of the content from year 7 in the core set, which is what we've done, which means it is sort of its full level of complexity and I suppose to a degree difficulty. I do wonder how many of our enemies, but most of the enemies we actually faced here are from the Monster Book of Monsters core set. So we didn't really, we only had but Fenrir caused us a lot of problems. Oh, we had another basilisk on top.
Yeah,
Can you imagine that? We were about to defeat the basilisk and we would have had a second
basilisk, and then a Dementor,
Oh god.
and then a troll, and then and then Lucius,
Lucius Malfoy.
and then the big guy.
And then Lord Voldemort at the end. It felt like it felt like it was really slow going.
Yeah.
And I don't quite know how we could have defeated the villains more quickly. Maybe we just I don't feel like I got that many powerful cards in my deck.
We should.
I
I
thought
think what we
yeah.
should have done is do that when you first proposed, like to change all the cards right there.
I think that's our
when
mistake.
when you first said we should change them.
Yeah.
We should have changed
Yeah.
them. And
Because,
I think
yeah.
we would have had more fights.
I mean, I only actually bought 3 cards that weren't in my starter deck.
I don't have that many, to be honest.
I only have 2. No,
No, I bought a few.
I've only got
No, I actually don't.
how
have
many?
a few.
Yeah, I only have 2. I only bought 2 cards.
I've bought
Actually,
like
no, 3.
4
I
or
bought
5.
3.
That's all.
So there's
Oh, 4.
that Quidditch gear you were looking for the whole time.
That never came.
I
There we
bought
go.
4 cards.
You bought 4.
Mhm.
And again, these are not super sort of expensive, powerful cards. I wonder if we just didn't sort of really ever get our decks going efficiently enough to sort of really challenge the enemies. It felt like it started off quite well, and then it very quickly escalated
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
But
We had that really, really, really difficult card.
Oh, we
in
had
the
that one
beginning.
really bad streak of bad luck as well, where it was just like dark art card after dark art card after dark art
Yeah.
card. We played like 8 in one round, and we were only on
think
like the
so,
second location
yeah.
or something. That was really
That
unfortunate.
was bad.
Having said that, despite the ignominious stunning of Ron, Luna, and Hermione, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, me
really
too.
enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a nice game still.
I really enjoyed this. I mean, I like deck building anyway, and I liked the interplay between all the cards. I feel like I must have forgotten this Pixie event like a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
It does feel like there's a lot to keep track of, but that might just be sort of, I don't know, lack of
Playing it.
well, yeah,
I've
lack
already
of playing
played
it, lack
before, yeah.
well, certainly I've not played it on the maximum level of complexity, and this is also with the expansion added in.
Yeah.
I haven't played it that much in that way, so it was interesting to sort of ratchet it up to sort of full mode and then also add in even more content. I do feel like I really like what the Monster Box of Monsters adds, because one of the things that sort of worried me about the core set was that once you got to level 6 and 7 and of the core set there, that's it. And then if you want to play the game more than once with all of the components added in, you're either playing one of those 2 scenarios or you're sort of trying to sort of homebrew one of the earlier games to use all the full components. Because what it does is this encounter deck here replaces the Horcrux from scenario 7 of the original game. So you've still got this same kind of mechanic with the dice and stuff in game 7 of the core set, which is the Horcruxes of Voldemort, or He Who Should Not Be Named. Sorry,
You
my
should not be
apologies.
named.
My apologies. But I like that they've sort of replaced it with this encounter deck, which is just kind of fun stuff. And actually, it's kind of all over the place a bit because the student's out of bed. That's is that book 1 or book 2?
I think it's 1 because they go to the oh, maybe 2. I don't remember.
Maybe it is book 1. The troll is book 1 though, right?
Troll is book 1, so yeah. So I think that's
But
it.
Norbert
No.
is book
Oh,
2?
confused.
Which book is Norbert in? Hagrid's Dragon. Is that book 1?
Oh, I'm confused. It's been so long.
It's been
I think
so long.
it might be book 2. I don't remember.
But the Pixies are definitely book 3 because that's
I Norbert is in book 1.
Norbert's book 1.
I think they go to the Forbidden. It's the one where they go to the Forbidden Forest.
They go to the Forbidden Forest all the time.
Yeah, but like the first time they go there.
They do go there in book 1, don't they? Yeah. Because
They do.
that's where the unicorn is killed,
Yeah.
and he finds Quirrell drinking its blood.
Yeah. So I think that's and you see drink. Oh, it's been so long.
But these Pixies are from when Gilderoy Lockhart
that's
is
book
teaching
2.
dark arts.
That is
That's
book
book
2.
2, yeah, because he's the one that gets his brains knocked out in the secret chamber.
Yeah.
So it's so I like that what this expansion has kind of done is added more variety in terms of the monsters. It's added in these encounter cards, but what it's really done is created 4 new scenarios for you to play at sort of full game complexity, but that still take place in different chronological periods of the Harry Potter timeline. So even though this is now no longer sort of strictly it's become anachronistic because we're running around in book 1. There's elements of book 2. We can buy the pensive, which is from like book 5 or something.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah. And the potion of luck, which is from book 7 or 6.
No, maybe it's 8.
No, I don't remember.
No?
It's before that.
There's no book 8.
The movie 8.
There is movie 8.
Part
Isn't there?
1, part 2.
Is 7 is 2 parts? Is 6 2 parts?
7 is 2 parts.
Yeah, so there's 8 movies.
Yeah, it's 8 movies, right?
Yeah.
So there's not 8 books.
No,
There's
There's 7 books.
yeah, the 7th book is really long.
Yeah. The longest is the 5th one.
I like these detention cards. I mean, I hate them,
Yeah.
but I like.
But like
Is the 5th book longer than 7?
The 5th book is like
Is it the
1,000 pages.
Goblet of Fire.
No, it's
Order of the Phoenix.
Orders of the Phoenix. And it's like 1,000 pages long, I think.
Well,
God.
still
Yeah.
less reading in this game than in
In the book.
in the books.
Actually, the one thing that's really interesting about this game is how it's very easy to read the cards.
Oh, yeah. It's,
The information is clear. You know, like if you compare this game to Dominion. I mean, I love Dominion. I really love Dominion. But you can miss valuable information in Dominion if you don't read the cards properly.
Yeah, I mean, some of the
Yeah.
Dominion cards are very simple, and some of them are
really
proper
complex.
novels. Yeah.
Whereas these cards they're very, very accessible.
Yeah, it's very solid iconography and it's
Yeah.
very short text typically. It doesn't instruct you to do a whole lot.
But-
I mean,
But when it does, it can be fatal. It's usually quite damaging in the case of the.
well,
So
it was really damaging.
There is-
The only thing that I thought was quite. I'm not sure because of the way that we were playing. Like maybe it was our fault. The fact that we didn't change up regularly didn't give us the opportunity to buy more cards. Possibly, not sure. But I did feel that it was quite heavily weighted against us. Like they weren't. I mean, they were so vicious. The cards.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether it's because of the.
well, I think there's 2 elements to that. One is that we are not super familiar with the game. I'm certainly not at this level of complexity as well. So there's all these kinds of opportunities to pull off these really neat combos, but we didn't seem to really have the opportunity to get those going, and that's probably a lack of familiarity with the cards here. Like we made this mistake of not resetting the Hogwarts cards early enough, and that's kind of just because we're sort of hoping to be able to get them, but we didn't really stop and think, wait a minute, I've got 7 Aloha Moras in my deck, but I'm only going to get 5 in hand, and that's 5 money maximum, and how am I going to get the 6 or 7 money? I mean, we need, and it's a little tricky because you can give each other influence and fight between rounds. So you're sort of hoping maybe that someone will be able to give you an influence, but it's very difficult to actually sort of plan that and maintain that. And so I think if we'd been more familiar, we probably would have known to get this reset earlier, and probably we would have had to reset it again. But I think it's one reset per wizard. That's a rule they've added in with the expansion, and I think that's very good. But I was going to say as well, I think there is, because going back to your point about the text on the cards, I'm always concerned when you get a game which has a lot of cards like this, that you're just going to, like, and a very light rule book. The rule book for this game is very, very thin, which seems really great at first, but I always get worried that that's because the entire game is written on the cards and you just spend the whole game sitting and reading cards. So it's quite nice, actually, that by and large there's not a huge amount of reading to be done here. The cards seem fairly sort of straightforward and easy to pick up. And I like that they're sort of nice and big and distinct. These are a little annoying. I think they're a bit too small and there's a lot of text on them, but that's okay. It's forgivable. Whereas this card has less text than that one. It's twice the size. Yeah. But, you know, they had to fit everything on the Marauders map, so.
Yeah. They need to find something.
But I was going to say, though, because of the sort of random nature of the order in which the Dark Arts cards come out and the random nature of the villain cards as well, there probably is an element of sort of luck in how difficult that is. Having said that, this was box 1 of the expansion, and for the first half of the game at least, we were just fighting monsters that would be in this box.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if that's a very reasonable excuse. I think it was probably more a sort of lack of familiarity with the game on our part.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like we probably could have done better.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
I'm keen to try again and try and do better.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good sign.
Yeah, definitely.
It is a good sign.
Because if I thought, well, that's it, we'll never do better than that, I'm out, then that either say something really bad about me or something really bad about the game.
Yeah.
No, I think it definitely is. It's beautifully designed, and it's a very interesting, fairly easy to understand in the rules, but complex in the gameplay. So that makes us sort of a successful recipe for a game.
And there's 4 more boxes in the expansion. The expansion is about half the size of the core set, but it does come, and there's more mechanics in the expansion. I noticed that there's a space in the box for another die, so you're getting at least one more die in the expansion. I don't know what it does because I haven't opened the box yet, but I will look forward to trying that. Maybe first I'll go back and try and complete this one before I open the next box.
So
yeah, we've got the magic harp.
We never did anything with that.
Well, we never got the card.
We never.
We never used any.
What are these guys?
Well, that's for the that's a spell we can get that allows us to. That would have been a great spell. That would have been so useful.
Where was that then?
Somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Maybe I shuffled this deck. Maybe it's all my fault.
No.
Maybe I shuffled.
Yeah,
it
no,
really
I agree.
badly.
Yep, definitely.
Let's have a look.
Oh God, look how bad that shuffling is.
I don't know, because we got shit cards, man. No?
Well, we had a lot of very expensive cards,
Yes.
but I feel like that's our fault because we had the opportunity to sort of use our one-offs to mitigate that.
Like, after that is 4.
And we didn't. We didn't.
2, 6, 3.
No, those are from my deck.
Oh right, I was going to say I knew these faces. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I shuffled them pretty well.
Was there a mistake not bringing Harry Potter?
Oh yeah, maybe, and Neville.
Maybe.
And Harry and Neville.
Harry and Neville.
We should have had Luna, Harry, and Neville.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Weasley and his
Hermione.
girlfriend.
Yeah, maybe.
But I got Buckbeak.
Yeah, I think that's our mistake. The fact that we didn't shuffle
Buckbeak.
enough. We didn't clean up, refresh.
Yeah, I think we definitely. There was I think it was actually around the time when we got that streak of like 8 Dark Arts cards back to back. But there was this tipping point. Actually, it was probably when we got the second location out, and that doubles the amount of Dark Arts cards you're drawing. Where we just didn't have decks that were good enough to see us through the problems we were having. And also, I think maybe it was my fault as well because I was looking for these cool combos we could do with the proficiency and the hero.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if maybe that was a mistake. If maybe...
Yeah.
Because once that Basilisk came out and just shut down your character abilities entirely, it might have been better to have two things that were very different.
Yeah.
So instead of creating this one cool combo that can just be shut down, instead you can get sort of two different things, and so you'll always have something working for you.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I didn't, of course, I forgot. I didn't, because I haven't seen Luna before. I forgot about the Basilisk is in the core set. He comes with box 2, which is, of course, the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as well, we don't know what's in box 2, 3, and 4 in the expansion. So it could be that there's, because I was going to say, why didn't they add in Voldemort's snake? Nagini.
It might be somewhere.
But she might be in box 4, you know?
Yeah.
I can't, because I imagine this kind of borrows from sort of the first 3 books.
Yeah.
Box 2 and 3 and 4 probably do carry on in sort of a vague chronology.
Yeah.
We might get like Hinky Punks.
What?
Isn't that a Luna Lovegood thing?
Oh,
Hinky Punks?
yeah, maybe. I don't know the word in English, so I'm a bit lost.
Well,
yeah.
I wonder if we'll get any of the any more of the not the werewolves, but the shapeshifters.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what they call themselves.
No, I don't remember either.
There's a special word for it, isn't there? What Harry's dad
And
everyone became.
Oh, what's the name again?
Can't remember.
No.
No, the Patronus is
the
spell.
The spell.
Somebody's typing it in already on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're typing
If you
it in.
remember
Come on,
what
guys.
that spell that they cast on themselves to change shape is,
Just
leave a
type it
comment
in
below.
now.
Leave a comment below. Let us know.
We forgot.
Leave a comment below. Let us know what your Patronus is, and I think that's all I've got to say on this. I would play this again for sure.
I would definitely play
Yeah,
this
I
again.
would play it again as well.
I'm not a particularly huge board game fan. So for me to say that I would play it again means that it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I've got I
Plus the fact I'm not a very big Harry Potter fan. Like, I don't even know who he is.
I mean, I'm not I'm not sure if I need this in my collection though.
That's a shame.
I'm happy to have it because you like it, and because I think I've got a bunch of friends who are really into Harry Potter who will really get a kick out of it as well. And it's not at this level. It's a complex game, and I really think it does scale well. Like I'm super happy to have the expansion because that brings the game up to a level where I feel like it's challenging and I'm interested in playing it. The first 5 years of the core set, I kind of feel like I have to sort of scale back to play. I feel like I'm going to play those to teach the game, to get the game in for people who aren't really into board games, who maybe aren't really into the hobby, to get them playing. And I can be like, play this Harry Potter game. It's not that complicated. Certainly year 1 is so basic. And it's really just introducing people to the idea of deck building. So, I mean, maybe I do need to go back and replay it after this. But
because we didn't do well.
I mean,
So maybe we should go back to square one.
Yeah, maybe we should go back to year 1, learn those lessons all over again. But I mean, I like the idea of having a game that scales like this, despite the fact that I actually don't think I will ever play In fact, I'm not sure if I'll ever play it without the expansion again, just because the expansion sort of gives me what feels like a really sort of easy way to play the full game without just playing year 7 over and over again. Or year 6. I mean, year 6 is basically the full game as well. All year 7 does is add one more Hogwarts card and make Voldemort harder. But I'm very glad to have it in my collection, but I think there's a lot of very similar games that provide very similar experiences that are a lot cheaper. So, I mean, for me, but actually the most similar series is called Legendary, and you can get a lot of different kinds of Legendary games now. You can get Marvel Legendary, that's the classic one with all the superheroes. You can get Alien Legacy based on the Alien films, and then there's a Predator version. You combine those two to do Alien versus Predator Legacy.
I want to do the Alien one.
The Alien one, they're really difficult as well, actually.
Oh, I love Alien.
There's a Firefly Legacy game that Firefly Legacy Legends. What did I say? Was I saying Legacy?
Yeah,
you were. I think
I meant Legends. God,
no, you said Legends.
Yeah.
Rewind.
It's I've clearly had the dark arts just blow my brains out. They're all on.
You're all still stunned.
We're all still stunned. Yeah, after a beating like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Ron is not that bright to begin with.
Yeah, but Hermione is. She's quite bright.
Not anymore.
And Luna was right.
Stunned into silence.
Luna's no different.
Yeah.
She's the same as she's always been.
So, yeah, cool.
But, yeah, so I think I like this better than the Legendary series. But, yeah, I think I like it better. I think it offers sort of more options for deck building. It's more interesting. And I really like this sort of the mechanics of the dark arts deck, even though it's brutal. I like this mechanic of the health track. I like this mechanic of being stunned, which sort of stalls you. I like this sense of a race.
Yeah.
I like that nobody's sort of taken out of the game and they can't play anymore, so there's no player elimination. And what I'm saying basically is that of all the sort of the deck builders and stuff, I think this one's a really solid one. It's just that the price point's quite a bit higher than some of the alternatives that offer a very similar experience. But I guess ultimately as well, pick your IP, you know. Do you want to play don't buy the Firefly Legendary game. But do you want to play like Alien vs. Predator, or do you want to play Harry Potter? Do you have kids?
that's the question.
Because this
I
one,
think it's really good for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a
Because
great
Alien
game
is
for kids. It's so much better than like normal kids games, like Monopoly, what they usually play.
Well,
This is
tiny bit more
excellent. This
original
would be great at an after school board game club for kids. Between the ages of 11 and
But
18.
That's good then. Like there's like different levels as well, because that's a good point for the game. Because even if you're not into board games, you can start at a low level, and like if you're into board games, you can just skip those years and start on a harder level.
Having said
because that's pretty good. Like
I mean I think that's one of its sort of
it's really good because I think also it's really good for people that are learning English as well, because of the text. It's so simple.
But it's all in gobbledygook fantasy language.
Yeah, but stuff like gain 1 and add roll a dice or draw 2 cards.
Right,
it's accessible to because this is obviously the harder version. But I imagine that the year 1 must be even easier.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I can see why it's so popular actually.
But if you're gonna buy it to play it with your kids as well, you've got what you're investing in here is a game that you can play with your kids and then also play with your spouse or your friends and scale it up to your level appropriately and still have a good rewarding experience.
Yes, which is a good point.
And I think it would scale well with players. It's 2 to 4. We were playing with 3. I think that obviously if you've got just 2 players. How it scales obviously is by the number of dark cards you're buying, and even though you have the same number of monsters, and that sort of provides the same challenge, because there's only 2 players going, your decks are improving more quickly and stuff like that. So I feel like it really would scale well with the number of players, and because you're giving each other influence and fight, I really feel like having 4 players wouldn't slow the game down so much. Because you're still getting all these other tokens, and you can sort of discuss these different combos and sort of cards and who should get what as well.
Okay, it's time to bed. Bye-bye.
So we have to go recover. We have to go recuperate in... what's the name of the nurse?
I know the French name. I don't remember.
What's her name in French?
I think it's Madame Pomfresh. But it's
Madame Pumphrey.
Yeah. Pumphrey. I think I was like.
So we all need to go and take a rest in the hospital with Madame Pumphrey to prepare some of the I can't remember the name of the potion she prepares.
Oh.
Do you remember the one that like just knits bones and stuff?
Oh yeah, I don't remember the name of the potion, but I do remember. Okay.
Well, we're gonna go get some of that.
Yeah.
So thanks very much for coming on this journey with us, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for a completely different adventure.
Again.
Well, I'll be back. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.